everyone, welcome back to Miss English Channel. I'm Emily, and it's a quiet morning with soft rain outside my window.
Hi guys, I'm Paul, and I just made coffee, but honestly, I checked my phone before even taking a sip.
We help you practice real, everyday English through simple conversations, so you can feel more confident speaking step by step.
If you enjoy learning like this, please like and subscribe because it really supports us and helps more learners find this channel.
Today, we're talking about social media and online life, something we all use every single day without even thinking too much.
Yeah, it feels like our phones are always in our hands, like a small window that never really closes.
So, Paul, let me ask you something simple. What do you usually do first when you wake up in the morning?
Honestly, I reach for my phone, open social media, and scroll for a few minutes before I even get out of bed.
That's very real, and a useful phrase here is scroll through, which means moving your finger to see more posts or videos.
Yeah, I scroll through Instagram, sometimes TikTok, and I just keep going without noticing how much time passes.
That happens to many people, and you can say, I spend too much time scrolling through my phone in the morning.
That sentence sounds like my life. And sometimes I tell myself just 5 minutes, but it turns into 20.
That's a great real-life example. And you can also say, I check my notifications, which means you look at new messages or updates.
Oh yes, notifications are dangerous because every little sound makes me curious, like who sent me something?
So if you want to talk about your habits, you can say, I usually check my notifications right after I wake up.
Or you can say, I try not to use my phone in the morning, but it's really hard.
That word try is important because it shows effort, not perfection. And that's exactly how learning English works too.
I like that because I'm also trying to use less social media, but sometimes I just forget my goal.
That's okay. Small steps matter. Even noticing your habit is already a kind of progress.
So Emily, what about you? Do you use social media a lot in the morning?
I do, but I try to keep it simple. Maybe checking messages, reading a few posts, and then putting my phone down.
That sounds very balanced, and I like the phrase put my phone down because it feels very physical and clear.
Yes, and now let's move a little further. After scrolling, what kind of content do you like to watch online?
I really enjoy short videos, especially funny ones or daily life clips, like people cooking, traveling, or doing small things.
That's great. And you can say, I like to watch short videos about daily life, which is simple and natural.
Sometimes I also watch videos about learning, like English tips or people sharing their routines.
So you can say, I watch videos to relax, but also to learn new things. And that's a very useful sentence.
I think many people do that because online content is not only for fun, but also for self-improvement.
Exactly. And another phrase you can use is, I'm interested in. For example, I'm interested in travel videos.
Or, I'm really into funny videos these days.
Yes, into is more informal, and it's very common in daily conversations.
You can try saying it with me. I'm really into funny videos these days.
Good. And maybe think about your own answer. What kind of videos do you enjoy watching every day?
And don't worry if your sentence isn't perfect, because communication is more important than perfect grammar.
That's such an important mindset, because many learners stop speaking just because they're afraid of making mistakes.
But mistakes are part of the process, like when I tried to cook pasta and forgot to add salt.
That sounds like a very sad meal, Paul.
It really was, but I learned something, and now I always remember the salt.
That's exactly how learning works. Small mistakes, small lessons, and over time, big improvement.
So after watching videos, sometimes something really funny or surprising appears, and it suddenly becomes viral.
Yes, and viral means something spreads very quickly online, like many people watch it and share it.
I remember one video of a dog dancing in the kitchen, and I saw it everywhere for days.
That's a perfect example. And you can say, I saw a viral video of a dancing dog and it made me laugh.
Or everyone was talking about that video, which shows it was very popular.
And these moments are interesting because they connect people, even if they live in different places.
That's true. Sometimes I send these videos to my friends and we laugh together even when we are far away.
You can say, I like sharing funny videos with my friends, and that's a very natural daily sentence.
So now let's ask you, what about you? Do you share videos with your friends often?
You can answer in your head, or even better, say it out loud and practice your speaking.
And if you feel a little shy, that's okay, because every small try helps you become more confident.
As the rain slowly stops outside and the room feels a bit brighter, our conversation also moves a little deeper.
Yeah, because social media is fun, but it also makes us think about how it connects to our real life.
And that's something we will explore next, because online life and real life sometimes feel very different, but also very close. The light outside is getting warmer now, and it feels like a good moment to slow down and think a little deeper.
Yeah, because after all that scrolling and watching, I sometimes ask myself, is this my real life or just my online life?
That's a very important question, and a useful phrase here is real life, which means your daily life outside the screen.
So I can say, sometimes my online life feels more exciting than my real life, right?
Yes, that's natural, and many people feel that way, especially when they see perfect photos and happy moments online.
Yeah, like when I see people traveling, eating amazing food, and always smiling, I feel like my life is boring.
That's honest, and you can say, I compare my life to what I see online, which is very common today.
Compare means looking at two things and thinking which one is better or different, right?
Exactly, and sometimes this comparison can make us feel a little sad or not good enough.
I've felt that before, especially when I stay home and see everyone posting beautiful photos outside.
So you can express that feeling by saying, sometimes social media makes me feel a bit down.
But I also know that people usually post their best moments, not their difficult ones.
That's a very healthy way to think, and you can say, people only share the highlights of their life.
Highlights means the best or most exciting parts, like the best scenes in a movie.
Yes, and remembering that can help you feel more balanced and more kind to yourself.
So maybe a better sentence is, I enjoy social media, but I don't believe everything I see.
That's perfect, simple, and very real, and it shows you understand the difference between online and real life.
Speaking of that, I actually took a photo this morning, but I'm not sure if I should post it.
Oh, really? What kind of photo is it?
It's a photo of my coffee. Very nice light, very artistic, but I just noticed my socks are in the corner.
That sounds like a very human moment, Paul, and a useful question here is, should I post this?
Yeah, because I don't know if people will notice the socks or just focus on the coffee.
You can also ask, do you think this looks good, when you want someone's opinion?
So I can say, Emily, do you think I should post this photo or is it a bit messy?
I would say it looks natural, and sometimes imperfect photos feel more real and relatable.
That's comforting because I always try to make things look perfect before posting.
That's very common, and you can say, I spend a lot of time editing my photos before posting them.
Editing means changing the photo, like adjusting the light or colors, right?
Yes, exactly. And sometimes people also change settings in the app to control who can see their posts.
Oh, that reminds me, I actually need help with that because I don't understand all the settings.
Perfect. Let's turn this into a small, real-life situation that you can practice.
Okay, I'm ready. I'll be the confused user like always.
And I'll help you step by step, just like a friend helping another friend.
Great, let's try it.
Hi, Paul. What's the problem?
Hey, Emily, I want to post a photo, but I don't know how to change the privacy settings.
No problem. First, tap on the 3 dots in the corner of the screen.
Okay, I see it. What should I do next?
Then choose Settings and look for Privacy.
Got it. Can I choose who can see my post here?
Yes, you can select Friends Only if you want to keep it private.
That's perfect. Thank you, Emily. That was really helpful.
You're welcome. It's always easier when someone shows you step by step.
That felt really real, and these are sentences we can actually use every day.
Exactly. And notice simple verbs like tap, choose, and select, which are very common in app instructions.
You can try repeating one sentence with me. Can you help me change the settings on my phone?
Good. And another one, I don't understand how this app works.
These are very useful, especially when you feel a little lost with technology.
And it's okay to ask for help because learning anything new always takes time.
That's true. I used to feel embarrassed asking simple questions, but now I know it's part of learning.
That's a great mindset because every question you ask brings you one step closer to understanding.
So after posting photos and learning settings, sometimes interesting things happen online that stay in our memory.
Yes, like small stories, unexpected messages, or moments that make you smile or think.
I actually had something like that happen last week and it really stayed with me.
That sounds interesting, and sharing these small online experiences is a great way to practice English.
Yeah, because they are real, simple, and easy to talk about.
So let's move into that next and explore how to share your own small stories from your online life. The air feels a little quieter now, like the moment after a long day when your mind starts to slow down.
Yeah, and that's usually when I think about something small that happened online, like a message or a comment.
Those small moments are very powerful, and a useful phrase here is something that stayed with me.
So I can say, I saw a comment yesterday and it really stayed with me, right?
Yes, that sounds very natural, and it helps you share a simple story with a feeling inside it.
Last week, someone replied to my post and said, "This made my day," and I kept thinking about it.
That's beautiful, and you can say, it made me feel happy and a little surprised.
Because I didn't expect my small photo to have that kind of effect on someone.
Exactly, and that's a great sentence. I didn't expect that, but it really touched me.
Touched me means it made me feel something warm inside, right?
Yes, something emotional in a soft and positive way.
But not all online experiences are positive. Sometimes I feel tired after using my phone too much.
That's very real, and you can say, I feel tired after spending too much time on my phone.
Or my eyes feel heavy and my mind feels full, which is exactly how I feel at night.
That's a very strong image, and another phrase is too much screen time.
So I can say, I think I have too much screen time these days.
Yes, and many people feel the same, especially when they use their phone for work and for fun.
Sometimes I tell myself I need a break, but then I open another app again.
That happens to everyone, and it doesn't mean you are weak, it just means the habit is strong.
I like that idea because it feels less like failure and more like something I can change slowly.
Exactly, and you can say, I'm trying to reduce my screen time, which shows effort and intention.
Reduce means make something smaller, like using your phone less, right?
Yes, and even small changes can make a big difference over time.
Like the 1% rule, just a little better every day.
That's a great mindset because learning English and building better habits both need patience.
So what can we do instead of using our phones all the time?
That's a great question, and maybe we can try making simple plans without using our phones.
That sounds interesting, but also a little difficult for me.
Let's make it easy, something small, like meeting a friend for coffee and keeping your phone in your bag.
I like that, and I can say, let's meet at a cafe and spend some time offline.
Perfect, and offline means not using the internet or not being connected to your phone.
Or I can say, let's take a walk and leave our phones at home.
That sounds peaceful, and it creates space for real conversations and real moments.
I remember one evening when I forgot my phone, and at first I felt nervous, but later I felt free.
That's a powerful experience, and you can say, at first I felt uncomfortable, but then I felt relaxed.
It's interesting how our feelings can change when we step away from the screen.
Yes, and this is how we start finding balance between online life and real life.
Balance means not too much and not too little, just something that feels right.
Exactly, and you can say, I want to find a better balance between my online life and real life.
That sentence feels important, like something I really want to do.
You can try saying it out loud, slowly, and feel the meaning of each word.
I want to find a better balance between my online life and real life.
That's great, and remember, you don't need to change everything in one day.
Just one small step, like not using my phone during dinner.
That's a perfect example and very realistic for daily life.
So let's ask you, what about you? Do you feel you use your phone too much sometimes?
And what small change can you try today to feel a little more balanced?
Maybe just 10 minutes without your phone or one conversation with someone face to face.
Those small moments can bring a lot of calm and connection back into your day.
And they also give you real experiences to talk about, not just things you see on a screen.
As the evening slowly comes and the lights in the street start to glow, there's a soft feeling of reflection.
Yeah, like a quiet moment where we can look back and understand what really matters.
And from there, we can gently choose how we want to live, both online and offline.
The streetlights are on now, and everything feels a little slower, like the day is gently closing.
Yeah, and it feels like the right time to think about everything we talked about today.
We started with something very simple, your daily social media habits, like scrolling, checking notifications, and watching videos.
Then we talked about what we enjoy online, like funny clips, daily life videos, and things that help us relax or learn.
We also shared those small, viral moments that make people laugh and feel connected, even from far away.
And then things became a little deeper when we talked about comparing online life and real life.
Yes, and remembering that people share highlights helps us stay calm and not judge ourselves too harshly.
I really like that idea because sometimes I forget that what I see online is not the full story.
Then we moved into posting photos and asking simple questions like, should I post this, or what do you think?
And of course, my famous coffee photo with the socks in the corner, which I'm still thinking about.
I think you should post it because it shows real life, not just perfect moments.
Maybe I will, and I'll write something like, real life is not always perfect, and that's okay.
That's a beautiful caption and very honest.
We also practiced asking for help with apps and settings, which is something we all need sometimes.
Yes, simple sentences like, can you help me change the settings, can be very useful in daily life.
Then we shared small online stories, like messages or comments, that stayed with us and made us feel something.
And we also talked about the feeling of too much screen time when your eyes feel tired and your mind feels full.
That part felt very real for me because I experience that almost every day.
But instead of feeling bad, we focused on small changes, like taking a break or reducing screen time slowly.
And I really liked the idea of making simple plans without using phones, like meeting a friend or going for a walk.
Those small actions can help us reconnect with real life and feel more present.
And finally, we talked about finding balance, not stopping completely, but using social media in a healthy way.
Exactly. Balance is the key, and it looks different for everyone.
Before we finish, let's quickly look at a few important words from today.
Scroll through means moving your finger to see more content on your phone.
Notifications are messages or updates that appear on your screen.
Go viral means something becomes very popular very quickly online.
Highlights are the best or most exciting moments people choose to share.
Screen time is the amount of time you spend looking at your phone or computer.
And balance means keeping things in a healthy middle, not too much and not too little.
You don't need to remember everything today. Even one phrase is already a step forward.
Yes, even if you just remember, I need a break from my phone, that's already useful.
And more importantly, you're practicing listening, understanding, and thinking in English.
That's how confidence grows, slowly, naturally, like a quiet habit building every day.
So before we end, we'd love to hear from you.
What do you usually do on social media, and how do you feel about your screen time?
Try to write one simple sentence in the comments, and don't worry about mistakes.
Because every sentence you write is a step closer to speaking more naturally.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today.
If you enjoyed this conversation, please like and subscribe. It really helps us continue creating these lessons.
And remember, you don't need to be perfect, you just need to keep going.
Little by little, day by day, your English will grow with you.
As the night becomes quiet and the world slows down, give yourself a small moment away from the screen.
Maybe put your phone down, take a deep breath, and notice the real life around you.
Because that is where your stories begin, and those are the stories worth sharing.
And we'll be here, walking with you, one simple conversation at a time.